Hello everyone and welcome to Mixed Media Monday. Today's project is a nod toward the upcoming holiday. I don't do strictly holiday stuff. It's just a decision that I made. Seasonal, yes. Holidays, no. It just keeps things simple on my end. But anyway, so what I have here is one of my cutout hearts from cardboard that I had already painted white, and I found this. I'm going to pull this out gently. This is a replica of a vintage painting that I covered with some matte medium to take the shine off. It's from a Sotheby's type. I got it out of in Christie's. You'll see some of my haul videos has some of these in them that this came out of, and I picked these up at a antique store several months ago. So anyway, I thought this lended itself to a little bit of a romantic theme. It's got roses, man and woman. Looks like they're getting along a little bit. So there's that. Oh, let me go back. I outlined it in gold paint and then put it down on a piece of kraft paper that I outlined in pink, a metallic pink paint, and then it's just plain on the back to be written on. And then here is just a little piece of another piece of kraft paper that this is outlined in metallic white. And I'm not going to untie this, but this is just a portion of a piece of music paper that I outlined in gold and put a little ribbon that I had run through some tea stain wash. And then I have this one gold paper clip that I'm using to hold the two together. I very seldom use gold, but this time of year it is a good time to use a little gold and a little pink, so that's what I've done. And then I have a button card that I made in a video back in the fall. I'll link that video below. So here is my my base that I had already painted, and I've got a bunch more over here that we'll be doing a project with shortly, one or two of them, not sure yet. So I took a doily, folded it in half again to make it a little quarter, glued it together all in one layer, edged it in gold, and then I had this piece of scalloped lace with a big scallop, so I just cut down and adhered to that. Put My Love in French here on it, and then I found and underneath this there's also this little tiny piece of gold lace. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like all together, and I just took one little triangle out of it underneath that. And then in my deconstructed jewelry, I found this little bow with a pink rose and this little dangle thing, so that I glued that on there. And then I left the sides of this open, so it's got gold brads here that's holding it in, and then this, when I glued this down, it sealed the bottom, but the sides of this is open, so that I can put this little picture in kind of like that. I want them to show a little bit. And then this paper just kind of tucked in behind it slightly, and then let the music paper show over the side, and then just gently put in that, because on the back I used a old hairpin well, it wasn't old, I bought them new, but they look old. Anyway, a hairpin to kind of hold it in there like that. And so that's the project for today, is just like a little nod to Valentine's and the hearts and the love and all that stuff that's supposed to be going on this time of year, even if it don't go on any time else. So anyway, let me get my materials together and we'll get on with the project. Okay, I've got a couple that I've been working on because of the way I'm doing it. I'm using paint to edge, and it takes a little while to dry. So this is the one I'm going to put together with some things already done. This is the one I'm going to work on to show you how I did that one. So hopefully by the end, maybe both of them can get done. I hope that makes sense. So let me move this to the side for just a second while I catch up with myself. And so I had this little like jewelry doll head thing, and it had a pin. It was a pin. I took the pin off, and it was this kind of goldy brassy color, and I have some metallic chocolate brown paint, so I put a little bit of that over it to kind of make it more brown and not so so brassy. So that's going to go on. Now, I know it don't go with the style so much of this old-timey painting little thing, but the colors match, and so I'm going with it. So what I've already done with this is I put some of this same chocolate brown around the edge, and then just did a few kind of dry brush marks in the middle or around. This is a piece of new music paper. I folded it in such a way that the words that's on the other side of the page wouldn't be seen with this little picture. I used some pink. This is metallic copper rose, and edged the picture. The music paper is just coffee stain. And so it's just a little, you can write on this side and write on this side. And then I just tore some craft paper, inked this with coffee ink, and it's going to go down here more or less this way. And then I've got this earring that I'm going to put in about roughly just above the point. And then I've got little cutters and pliers to bend that over, and if it were to break, then I'll probably end up gluing it on. But anyway, I got that as a little dangle. So it's going to end up looking sort of kind of like that, and then I have this little word happy that I've still got to do something with to stick on there like that. So that's the prep work of that one. Now what I'm going to show you, let me get my paintbrush over here. This is a metal. I think it's meant actually to melt the Kindle melt things in, but this is the bottom. I might be totally wrong. I've had this for a few years. I found it in a thrift store, and it's like, this is my paint pot. So if I'm just doing little painting, I'll put water in this side. If I were doing a big one, I'll put water in this one. But this fits inside the top. So anyway, so I wanted to show you how I'm painting the edge. And so I painted most of this, but I left just a little bit so that you could see what I'm doing. And it's just very, very simple. And this color, this is from Hobby Lobby. It's the Anita's brand, and it's called Wine. And I really like the color, the way it's turned out. I like it. Anyway, so I want to edge in the same way that you would with ink, but because this is corrugated cardboard and I want it raised up, that's why I'm using paint. So when I'm doing little pieces like this, I like to paint with an angled brush. This is just a cheap brush. I don't do painting where it's like expensive brushes and all this stuff. This is Hobby Lobby stuff, or might even picked up some at Walmart, I don't know. But anyway, because I'm right-handed and I'm going to be painting in strokes like this, I want a little paint on the back side of the brush. I don't want it on this side. So if you're left-handed, you do the opposite. But anyway, I just barely put like this much on the brush, and I just barely touch the edges, and I just go along until I need a little bit more. And I'm literally, it's just, you know, that much on the brush, just to give me that edge that I want. Now, of course, if you want more, you can put more, but this is just what I'm doing. And I just left a section so that you could see how I'm doing this, and hopefully this will dry so I can do the rest of the, you know, make the completed projects. But if not, then this one will work. Okay, so that's how I did that heart and this heart. And so I just cleaned my brush off on this because it's mixed media. It can be whatever it is. And for those little bitty paint jobs like this, I just take paint out of the lid. There's no point in pouring paint out for that. Well, I'll put it up too soon. So let me lay this to the side so it can be drying. I'm going to use this rose with the gold. This is the picture that I'm going to use. And I put my red up too soon. I'll have to get it back out. So I'm going to put red around this, and this will glue down here. So what I'm doing is kind of replicating what I've done with this one, and hopefully if that one dries we can glue them both down. So and then this will be the pocket. I think, yeah, this side will be the pocket. So let me get my glue back over here, and give me 1 second. I've got a timer over here to make sure I don't run out of camera time, and I forgot to set it. So alright, let's do this again. So on this, we're just going to do the exact same thing as we did on the heart, and just put a line. Now this music paper is vintage, but it's not stained or anything. It was, I guess, well taken care of, but it's from the 50s. I think maybe like 58, something like that. But mainly on this little project, I'm not looking so much for the vintage element of it as I am for the color, to have some coordinating color, if that makes sense. So I guess I could have showed you on this, but I actually forgot that I still needed to do this part. So anyway, okay, so this can set aside to dry. I think that'll look good. And then we'll do this one, and I'll need to do this little word, and then this one will be done in pink. The copper rose. But this one is in this wine, and it's funny, it don't really look like the wine that I'm used to. The wine that the color that seems more a wine to me is darker with, you know, it has a little more black in it. But I do like this color. It's a nice rich red, and it's not an orangey red. I'm not a fan of orangey reds. I'm not really a fan of oranges, but orange does have its place. You know, in fall or autumn, you definitely want to be using oranges, and even rich reds like this, but mostly oranges and yellows, I think. Okay, we'll put that to the side. And I did spray this with some tea, but it's not very dark. And I did cut that close, but it was the only way I could do it. And I think I'm sticking my thumb in it. I probably ought to. I don't know if this will work, but we'll try it. I'd like for that to be just a tiny bit thicker, but I'm not going to force it. For this part, I'm going to turn the brush over, otherwise it's not going to work right. Okay. Now, that can dry. Okay, that's all of the red. Let me clean this brush a little bit. And I have an old cotton cloth underneath this white that you probably can see barely the edge of. That is so full of paint stains. I use it to when I clean my brushes. I use it to dry my brush out, going back and forth. Okay, let me move this to the side. I don't want to mix my colors here, so let me just put a little bit of pink on this. That's a little ball of color that is a little too much, but okay. So yeah, I've done this sort of paint on the edge of things a couple of times, but it's not something I do a lot. Because I know it's not the normal way to edge paper, but like I said, I wanted something that raised up. I want just a little bit more up on that one. Okay, lay that to the side. Alright, now, so that's the paint part done, and this was the brush I was using. These come out of a magazine, or not a magazine, but an art book for Sotheby's and Christie's and all that, and they're shiny, so I put matte medium over them, and this is the brush I used for that. So that can go to the side, so I hopefully don't hit it. Now, the next thing I want to do, and because this is corrugated cardboard, I don't want to put a whole lot of glue that's just going to go down in these grooves and sit there. I'm going to get a couple little brads and put in there that, you know, I completely forgot to bring them over here. So one second while I get my brads. Okay. My husband found a replica of an old-fashioned toolbox that has the drawer that locks, and you pull it down and it's got all these drawers. It's like 2 big drawers and 6 little drawers. And I guess somebody had dropped it or something. Anyway, it had a little crack in it. He brought it home and fixed it, and so that's what I keep all my little stuff in, like this. And then I've got a big old jewelry chest that I have stuff in and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Now, let me... I was going to turn these in, but I don't think that's going to work as good as I would have liked for it to. So I need to ink those little bitty edges just a little bit. Having that line in there won't make a huge difference. Okay, I need 2 brown ones. And I need brown, not that copper color, or whatever color it is. Alright. So, let's kind of put that like that. Put that there. Just keeps things from flying away. Well, get the thing turned right side up so I can see what I'm doing. Or actually upside down, not right side up. Okay, that looks alright. And that one's a little close, but it will just have to do. And then I'm gonna put that there, put that one there, and I'm gonna turn it to make sure that those little legs go right along that edge. There we go. Okay, now I don't need to make a hole to put this through, I don't think. As long as I don't poke myself in the finger on the other side of it. Okay. Alright. Now, if this does what I want it to, then it will just curl right down and everything will be fine. If not, then I'll have to get out the high power glue and glue it on from the other side. So here we go. Maybe I should glue it on anyhow. It's not getting very as tight as I'd like for it to be, and I don't want to crunch the... If you heard that beep, that was the dishwasher finishing. It beeps at me. It's just on the other side of this wall over here. Okay, I'm not happy with that at all. So, I kind of think glue it is. Well, I wonder where that went. Alright. I wonder if I should wait and put that on at the very end and that way I won't be moving it around. Okay, we'll do that. So that means I can position this. I'm not going to leave it in, but I can put her on, and she's going to be glued on the bottom, right on top of that. And as soon as that word gets dry, it's going to go in here. Okay, so I can glue her on. I can go ahead and do that. So this is the glue I'll have to use for her. I don't store it upside down, but I think I'm going to have to. It's only about half full. That might be just a touch too much. See if I can spread it out a little bit. Put just a little bit around this edge. Okay. I think I'm going to have to, well, I don't know, let's see if this will reach. That'll reach there. This one should reach. Oh, man, that one's hard. Okay, that'll reach there. I think these would be too much, even if it did reach. Let's see. It might leave a little bit of a mark, but I won't leave it on too long, but I'll leave it on a few minutes and let that set. So we're going to put that to the side, and we're going to check on this one. And it's dry, yay. So we will work on this one instead. Just let me move all my pieces and parts out of the way. Okay. And here and here. Ooh. Got glue leaking on the outside. Get the right one over here. I think I'm out of glue. Yes. And guess what? I had enough mind to get me another one for right when that would do that. So yay. The old brain is working. Sorta. Sorta. Okay. And then put some glue around the edge. Now since this paint and whatnot is dry on the other side, I will press this with a very lightly warm iron just to get it in place. Okay. Let me turn it sideways. Did I get that good on the first shot? Oh my goodness. I think it looks pretty good. I bet I couldn't do that again in a million years. Okay. I'm going to take this off to the iron and just press it a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that little thing ironed down. So I want to put this sort of right here. Well, I may have to come down a little bit just to give myself some room. That one's going to have to go in, I think. Well, I believe it can go in a little cockeyed. But I want to use this rose pen, and so, and it's got this, it's like the little lapel pin thing on it, so I need to figure out where would be the best place to put it and it still hold on. I'd like to put it about right there. But it don't have to go on it. I knew I had some little brads somewhere else. Okay, so if I use gold ones there, well, if I could pick it up in here, but I really want that. It's stuck to my finger. The other thing I could do is bring it kind of up this way, because it don't have to match up with, I mean, nothing I'm doing is matching up with anything, so I could put it more like this. Or like that. But that keeps that really small, it really does. It's not that it wouldn't work. I could put it on the bottom. And there'd be plenty of room for it. Okay, that's what we're doing. Alright, where'd them little clips go? Did you hear my mountaintop come out? Where did them little clips go? Where did those little clips go? And I've not even been to visit my parents in a month and a half. My husband laughs at me every time I come back from visiting them. He, who has an English accent because he's from England, makes fun of me how I talk. Not in a awful way or a bad way, just in a... And I say, you know, when you Skype with your sister, you do the same thing. Your accent is much heavier than after you've talked to her for a few days. So, I don't want to hear it. And that usually ends that conversation. Okay. Where is this? So, we're going in again with a hole that probably is too low, but too late now. And close enough. Close enough. Yeah, I was watching a lady, I've just found her channel, probably about a week ago, and I think that she is in Virginia. That seems to be what I'm gathering. Which isn't very, very far from where I grew up in western North Carolina. You could, I mean, you're talking probably a 2 to 3 hour drive depending on where you were going. but still, it's 3 hours from where I live in South Carolina to where my parents are, and my parents are probably 30 miles from the South Carolina line, give or take a little. Okay, I think I can go ahead and put this right through there. And put this pin on the other side if I can get a hold of it. If I can get a hold of it. My goodness, I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway. Alright, that looks alright. Now, let's pull this up this way. I still have to find a little something. It's kind of a tight squeeze now, but it will go. I need to have just a little bit of something to go in there with it. But that's kind of cute, huh? Shut that before I spill them. Alright, so I'm going to put this to the side. Go back to this one. Yep, that's pretty much attached. Still a little damp, but it is attached. So let's put this in, make sure it all goes in like it's supposed to. Make sure my glue didn't come up. Yep, there we go. And I kind of want that to poke through on that side a little bit. Let's get my little word here and let's figure out exactly how it's going to fit in. I want it right in here, but I don't know if it's going to actually fit. The way that I thought it might. Well, I think it'll just work like that. It'll have to. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going to put just, well, I can use this glue here. I'm just going to put a dot of glue there just to catch what paper it catches. And I'm wondering, actually wondering if I could put a brad through that first little bitty hole, if I could get the legs to fit. It's darker than that. Well, I picked that up by the wrong thing, didn't I? But it's not gunmetal either. It's this antique brass. But I think the gunmetal might look the best. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Now, I could use these coppery ones, but then that's going to clash with the little jewels. So, I think this is the way to go if it will go through. If it will, then that's what I'll do. If it won't go through that one, it would go through the next one, but I'm hoping it'll go through this one. My fingers are in the way. They are. on, go through, yay, look at that. Alright. Now I will have to make that hole a touch bigger. Make sure that that little part stands up and that little part comes down. It's a little out of place. I wonder if I shouldn't take it out and put it in the one below, but I'm afraid it won't, that the top will kind of flip over a little. And I don't have any smaller brads. I think this will work if I can just get it to press slightly. I think that'll be alright. Let me just give it a little bit of a press there. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so this one is done. Yay. So that flower of hers keeps popping over. But I really don't know what to do about it. I think it's because the way I had it stuffed in the little drawer. And I also tried to make her hair stand down but a little bit. But anyway. Alright, so here we're done. Alright, now let's bring this one back in. I have not found, or had not got anything to go in behind this besides the picture. I do have the logo, so, but that's kind of boring, just like that. So I need to find something. Okay, let me find something to put with this because I've got everything but that. So let me pause, find the final decoration, and we'll finish this. Okay, I think I found what I want to use. I got this package, it's probably reflecting, but I got a package of frogs that matches this color like so perfectly. I'd be crazy not to try to use it. And then I have these little wooden hearts that may or may not get used, I don't know yet. But I think what I want to do is I might end up taking these little things out if I need to. I don't know yet. But scissors. Let's snip one of these out and let's see, look at that. Oh my goodness, don't that look so good? Well, in reality, I don't think those they're well placed, but I don't think they would actually hinder or hold them down. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. But if I put them in that very corner, they might. Because it's just for decoration. They wouldn't actually be opened. Alrighty. Executive decision time. And hopefully this will work without any major problem. Maybe let's do one at a time. And hopefully it's long enough to go back through. If not, I've got these big huge long ones, but I don't want to put great big ones in. I'd like to just tuck it right up there in that little corner. And again, my fingers are getting in the way. That's that. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Ouch. Little points are okay. So unfortunately it made it lay down. And I really didn't want it to lay down. So I guess I'll be gluing it down. So let me press this back on. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. Okay, well, let's see. There we go. Alright, now, take this out and put this back. Squish that up just a little bit. And I could turn it around even. No, I don't like that. Alright, in order for this to work, I'm going to have to clamp it, but I need some really weak. You know, when you first buy these, you have to, like this one, it's like you have to have a stick of dynamite to blow it open. And that one's just very all over the place. I need to get 4 out. I think that'll be enough. There's one. That one's too tight. That one's good. Okay. Hopefully my idea will work. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. So, I could go below it slightly, and just glue it on. Be nice to position it though where those little gold things just peeped through like little eyeballs. Alright. I hear the train. It's funny, when the train comes through, it's usually about 4 times a day maybe. You can tell the different drivers because some of them will blow like crazy when they go across the what is it I'm trying to say, where the vehicles cross. And then some of them don't. And actually, the train, believe it or not, it's going to squish it down no matter what. Yep. I guess I'm just going to hold it here for a minute, and I'll talk for a second, and then if it'll just stay still. The train, and you probably can't hear it, but it's a little over a mile away. But this is a train, railroad town. Well, I'm going to have to squish it because otherwise it's not going to work, and that one won't reach. There, it'll reach now. And then once it sets, I can maybe stand it back up a little bit, I hope. No, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Oh, well look, there it's staying. Yay. Yeah, this town that we live in right now, hopefully we'll be moving soon, but anyway. At one time when it was a flourishing railroad town, there was only one train depot, square, whatever it's called, in the world, bigger than here where I live, and that was in Moscow. So trains are a big thing in this town. This part right here is sitting really good, so I think the rest of this will be fine in a little while. So I'm going to ease this back in. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. Rebecca, don't pull it up. Just easy. You know, it's like when you're telling your little kid or grandkid when it's times to pet a little puppy, do it easy while they're bunking it in the head, you know. Okay, there we go. Go back there now. I need you to go there. Now, I have these hearts. I don't have anything here. I've got music paper here. The only other thing I can really put here that would look right and stay with the theme I've been going with is a piece of craft paper that I could fold up and do. Sort of kind of the way I did the very first one. Yeah, that's working. That's working good. This is not bad the way it is. I think for the sake of the video I'm going to call it done. I don't want to mess with it anymore, and not until this dries. So I might add something else, and if I do, it's probably just going to be a piece of craft paper. I really don't see where one of these hearts would work. It would be too conflicting. The way it is right now, it has kind of a little bit of an elegant look, and this is kind of a little country-ish. Anyway, so I'm going to clean up my workstation, and then we'll look at all of them. And if during that time I decide to do one of these, then I might fold it up and tuck it in behind. But if I do, I'll just be putting the red around it and putting it behind. It won't be a big deal. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, here they are. I had no idea where I was going to really go with this project. My inspiration was the mixed media heart and this picture, and it just flowed from there. So you've already seen this one. You saw this one being put together, or at least partly put together. And this one, I remembered that I had the gold lace that I used just this one little triangle of under this, and I thought, well, it's got gold on it, why not? So I took a piece and glued it there, put the word beautiful over it, give this just another little shot of glue, and it's still wet, and then I found this. I have tons of doilies, but I didn't know if I had any really small ones. So this one I think is actually 2 or 3 together, but it's quite small. This paint's still slightly damp, so I just quartered it and painted the edges a little bit and just stuffed it kind of right in there, and just so that this picture wouldn't be by itself. It just looked a little too bare up there. So this has been the project for Mixed Media Monday. So I'll see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.